Hello everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing fine and I hope you're all looking forward to spending Christmas with your family and friends and your neighbors and those around you. Everyone around you is a friend and everyone around you is worthy to celebrate with. So I hope you're all looking forward to the wonderful Christmas break. And while you are celebrating Christmas, please do not forget to remember the reason we are celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ, okay? And the reason why he came on earth, we all know, for those of us who are Christians. So please bear that in mind as you look forward to spending quality time with your family and friends. Okay, if you are a new subscriber, you are welcome. If you're an old-time subscriber, you are absolutely welcome. Please do click on the subscription button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And if you are new, I hope you feel convinced and you subscribe. Thank you very much in advance for that. So today, I'm just going to be sharing 6 mistakes that people make when they try to teach reading. I'll be right back. Welcome back. As I said, I'll be sharing 6 mistakes that people make when they try to teach reading. And the first one of the mistake is the sound. So people tend to teach, excuse me. So people tend to teach the alphabet name rather than the alphabet sound. Now, when you're trying to teach a child to read, what that child needs to know, it's not the alphabet name, because the alphabet name is not going to help them with reading. So what they need to know is the alphabet sound. For instance, if I want to teach the word vet, okay, the alphabet name is V-E-T. V-E-T, if you put them together, does not make the word vet. What the child needs to know is the sounds V, E, T. And obviously when you put that together, that will make the word vet. So it is not important to teach your child the alphabet name. What is important, that what they need to know is the alphabet sound. Okay, the alphabet name they will learn along the line as they go school or whatever, children cartoons or whatever around the environment, they're going to pick that up. Okay, yes, it is necessary, they need it, but at a point in time when you're trying to teach them reading, what they actually need to know is the alphabet sound, not the alphabet name. Now, the second mistakes that people make is not choosing the right resources. And when I mean the right resources, I mean the right books. Now, if your child is reading phase 2, this is phase 2 sounds, it will not be wise for you to give the child a phase 3 book. Now, this is because the child may not have come across phase 3 sounds. So when you give that book to the child will struggle and probably will get put off from trying to read, because then the child will encounter sounds that they haven't learned or sounds that they don't know. So make sure you choose the right material. If your child is reading phase 2, then give them phase 2 books, okay? Because this is going to help to stimulate their whet their appetite and also make them want to read, because then they're not going to find the book hard. Okay, the book will be slightly easier for them because this is what they have already practiced or learned at school or wherever they're learning it from. Okay, so make sure you choose the right resources. Now, also, if your child is reading phase 2, you've got to be very, very careful the type of books, independent books you give your child to read. Okay, so you've got to ensure that that book has sounds that the child can pronounce and the child can read. And also, sometimes some phase 2 books might also have tricky words, so common exception words like the he, was, there, tricky words. Now, for a phase 2 child, they're also going to have phase 2 common exception words that they need to learn. So some reading scheme books are not particular, so they just throw in any common exception words, while some are very particular, so they make sure that the books include common exception words that child within that phase will be reading. Okay, so that's tip number 2. Tip number 3 is lack of repetition. You got to repeat, repeat, repeat. It's just like an adult. When you're learning something new, you go back and you revisit that thing. You do it again and again and again. Same goes for a child who's learning to read. You don't expect a child to do it once and then get it, okay? You've got to repeat it several times. You've got to make an effort to repeat it several times. Go back again. Don't be shy. Don't be scared. Don't think, oh, my child is good at a slow pace. No, that is necessary for them, okay? Because what you need for them to do is to be able to recognize those sounds without having to think. Okay, so you're helping their brain to create synapses in this area. So basically, when they see the word they know that is what it is. Okay, they don't have to start thinking what it is. So what you need to do is you keep repeating, repeating, repeating. Okay, there is no harm in getting your child to repeat. Sometimes when you give children books to read at home from school, and then they take it one day and then they bring it back, oh, I've read it. Yes, you can read it again. You can read it again and again. So repetition. So you've got to make sure that you repeat. So even if you teach your child a sound or something at home, revisit it over and over again. So this is going to help the child remember it in the longer run. And also lack of time to think. Now, some children process things faster than others. Okay, you've got to give them time to think. I've seen situations whereby a parent or a teacher or somebody is teaching a child, and then they say, oh, what is this? And you expect the child to come up with it immediately. Yes, sometimes it happens, and other times it doesn't. Give them time to think. Give them time to digest what it is you are asking them to do. Give them time to also digest what they have read or what they've learned, and so that they can be able to recall it another time more efficiently. So give them time to think. Listen to them as well. Sometimes they might have questions to ask. Listen to them, okay? So you don't expect them to just give it to you with a click of a finger or what is it. Sometimes they will, and especially reading is something as they practice. The more they practice, the more they'll become conversant with it and very quick with it, okay? But before they get to that stage, you've got to make sure that you give them time to think. Right. The fifth mistake that people make is too much in the short space of time. Now, when you're teaching children how to read, for instance, if you're teaching them phonics, okay, some people think, okay, we do one sound per day. Yes, we can do that. You can do one sound per day, which is actually what they do in schools, one sound per day. But then they always go back and revisit that sound all throughout the day. Now, if you're trying to teach a child how to read at home, you can decide to pace this to one sound per 2 days, one sound per 3 days, or one sound per week. It depends on how fast your child learns. You know your child very well, be the teacher, you know your parent, you know the child very well, so you can decide to pace out the teaching time. For instance, when I was teaching my child common exception words, which are like the high frequency words, I was doing one sound per 2 to 3 days. Okay, so we do that one sound, that one word, and we'll do it over and over and over again until I felt she was able to recognize the words without much input from me. So the same thing, you don't think, oh, my child is going to learn 5 sounds in a day. Now that is a bit too much to take on. Okay, it's a bit too much to take on for a child. I would say 1 sound a day or 1 sound per 2 days. Okay, and then within that 2 days, go back to the previous point, you revisit it, you practice it, spend time to go through, to revisit that one sound that you've taught over and over again, using the right resources and using prompts that you have all around your house to help your child to remember. So please do not overload the child, okay? Some people think, oh, I'm going to do this much. Well, if you overload the child, especially when it comes to reading, you're just going to put them off reading, and you don't want to do that. Your aim is to try and get it as interesting and as fun for them. So do it in a way whereby they don't feel it is too much for them in a short space of time. So space it out, okay? If your child can do one sound a day, fantastic. If they can't, one sound every 2 days is absolutely fine, okay? Space it out. There's no harm in spacing it out. There's no harm in taking things easy. There's no rush, okay? So you can do that. It's a gradual process, and your aim is to make them fluent readers. And the only way you can do that is if you take things slowly and step by step. Now, the sixth key, which basically I have mentioned in the previous point, is practice, practice, practice. Give them time to practice, okay? So when you teach them a sound, give them time to practice. Spend time with them. Find those sounds in books. Even if you yourself are reading an adult book and you see that sound, you can call them and say, oh, what is this? And then they'll tell you, oh, it's s, or it's p. Or if you see the sound, if you see that sound, for instance, let's say on a billboard or anywhere. So you just have to use things around you. Don't wait for that particular time when it's the time for your child to learn, then you do that. No, use everything around you. For my child, I used to use receipts. So if we go out to the shop and I have a receipt and I see any of the sounds that I've taught her in those receipts, and I'll put, oh, what is this? What sound is this? Okay, so give them opportunities to practice. Practice, practice, practice. Now, they say practice makes perfect. Well, it does, but keep practicing, okay? Give them opportunities to practice, and then that way it will become part of them. So, guys, these are the 6 mistakes that I think if you're going to be teaching a child how to read, then these are the things that you need to look out for, okay? That is, so number one thing is you teach the sounds instead of the letter names. I'm just doing a recap, okay? Teach the sounds instead of the letter name. Choose the right resources. Make sure that you create time for repetition, okay? Repeat it over and over again. If you've done a sound before, for instance, you taught your child the sound p, and you think, well, because we've done it, we don't want to go over it again. No, go back again, revisit it, revisit sounds that you've taught, previous sounds that you've taught, do it again and again and again, okay? So create time for repetition, and then give the children time to think. The children or the child, always give them time to think and process it, because sometimes it could be a lot. Imagine trying to learn how to read and knowing how the English language is with all the complexities. So it is quite a lot that you're asking a child to take on. So you've got to give them time to think and actually digest what it is that you have taught them, which some people, sadly, some people don't, okay? So give them time to think, and then please, not too much at a time, okay? Try and space out your teaching so the child does not feel this is overload, okay? So space out your teaching. So try and do, you know your child very well, you know the child very well, try and fit it within the learning style of that child so it doesn't get too much, okay? And then the last tip is not creating time to practice. So basically create time to practice, okay? So these are the 6 mistakes, and I think probably there'll be the 7th. I can add the 7th one, which is basically make it fun, okay? Make it fun. Don't make it boring. Don't make it too dry so the children don't feel not again, okay? Make learning fun. YouTube has done a lot. You've had there's a lot of resources on YouTube, a lot of songs, a lot of things, books. Now it is easier for you to find things to help you make learning fun, okay? And within yourself as a parent or as a teacher, think of creative ways that you can teach your child that it doesn't sound or look too boring for that child, okay? Make it fun. Turn it into a game. I did say in one of my videos how I was teaching my daughter how to listen for sounds. So I was kind of helping her to sharpen her sound listening to sounds, and we turned it into a game, okay? So I wasn't actually saying, you sit down here and listen. No, because as I said, children at that age, 3, 4, 5, they're still very fidgety, okay? And you don't want to do it for too long. So make it fun and interesting for the child to want to do. Okay, so for me, that's the seventh mistake that I've added, that people sometimes do. They don't make learning fun for children, and therefore it becomes quite boring. Okay, so I hope this is been very helpful and useful to you. If you've got any comments, if you've got any questions that you would like me to answer, please feel free to put this in the comment box below, and I will pick that up and respond to you as soon as I can. For now, have a fantastic week, and I will see you again soon. Bye.